Hello, we are live. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing this evening? How is it going? I am extremely excited. I have a wonderful guest. I have we've gone 29 out of 31 days, but you're like, who are you? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I always forget to introduce myself because it's very important because you need to know who I am. My name is Lisa Marie Eard. I am the Collegiate Success Coach for Campus Bound GPS, where we help students and parents navigate the college application process. And this program, I guess I could call it a podcast because, it's in that realm, is October Tips. And October Tips is a series, and I call it my community service project for the month of October. With October Tips, every day there is a singular tip that expands into a conversation where either myself or an expert will come on and talk about the topic and just provide knowledge, provide insight, provide information as it relates to the college application process. And we've been doing it for 29 days. This is day 29. And I would love, because I always forget about this part. We are new to YouTube. All of the past 28 days, and today we'll be there too, will be on our YouTube channel, the Campus Bound GPS YouTube channel. So please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. We're going to start populating the YouTube channel with the older October tips. And we might have some nuances in the near future as well. So subscribe. Now, what you're here for, I am so excited to introduce my dear friend. We don't see enough of each other anymore. We used to see each other on a regular, and we don't see each other enough anymore. So I kind of miss her. And with her gracing me today, it's gonna feel like old times. So without further ado, I would love to introduce you all to Lynnecia Eley. She is the assistant dean at Georgetown University. And her tip, I'll let her tell you her tip because we talked about it back and forth and we were like, yeah, this is a good one. So Lynnecia, please introduce yourself. This is your first time on our campus. And I'm so glad you're here. So introduce yourself, tell folks about you, what you do, because you do more than just,
oh, yes.
You're more than just an assistant dean. And let's help some students and some parents out there today.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Hi, Lisa Marie. Thank you so much for just this opportunity and then the service that you're giving to college bound or campus bound students and their parents. So, yes, I am Lynnecia Eley. I am an assistant dean at Georgetown University as well as an adjunct instructor. As Lisa mentioned, there are a lot of things that I do. In addition to being an educator, I am also an author, a business confidence coach. I am a creator, all around creator, publisher, and just entrepreneur of many things, not to mention a wife and mother. Those are additional jobs, you know that. So I'm excited for October tips. And at day 29, we are talking about your guidance counselor and your guidance counselor being your secret weapon.
Ta-da!
That is the topic. And truly, your guidance counselor or, high school counselor is your best partner for success when you're thinking about college and planning for the college application process. You know, this world that we live in, no matter your age, we experience things, and experiences beyond high school are full of possibilities that we don't even know that are out there. And choosing which path we take is going to require us to think deeply about our interests, our passions, um, and our dreams and goals for the future. So as you get closer to your high school graduation, it can easily feel like you're alone or weighed down by this huge decision of what are you going to do after graduation. And you start to get those questions, or questions get deeper than what do you want to be when you grow up. It's where are you going to go after high school? What college are you going to? What's your major? Are you moving out of state? And you may be thinking, okay, it's my future. So that means it's my responsibility to have all these answers, right? Truth is, not so much. In fact, this is where your secret weapon comes in. This is the exact scenario where your high school guidance counselor is that tool in your toolbox that you can reach for to get advice on a lot of things, not just academics, but they kind of serve as a coach, a life coach in some aspects. You know, now's the perfect time, whether you're in middle school or high school, um, start getting into a practice of visiting with your school career counselor or your guidance counselor, because they will make a big impact when you begin researching for colleges, when you are looking to figure out how to apply for those colleges. And ultimately, they're going to be the ones that help you with the impression that you make on your future college. So, as a prospective student, your guidance counselor is going to be your secret weapon to say, you know, this school is attracted to this type of student. So, they're going to coach you to be that attraction to your school.
That is a good that I like the way you said that. And the reason why I like it is because, well, I know a lot of students don't, they tend not to see their guidance counselor until it's absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, we were always there. Well, she was in an AVID program, and the guidance counselors and the AVID coaches and teachers kind of worked together. So we were
Mm-hmm.
always, and then I was a helicopter mom anyway. So we were always there. I made sure that they knew me and they knew her. And it, you know, I feel, even though I do coaching for students, especially in that process, in the college application process, and there are, your guidance counselor is that type of guide as well. But because of the many students that guidance counselors tend to have,
Mm-hmm.
you know, some of our students, some of our kids don't take advantage of that opportunity, especially being a part of the school system.
Right,
They know,
right.
they
And it's so
know.
important that you mentioned that even as a parent, you knew your children's guidance counselors. Um, I like to always think of them, and I explain to my nieces and nephews. You know, sometimes as children, we don't talk much to our parents, or we feel more comfortable opening up to someone else other than our parents. And a lot of times that can be your high school guidance counselor, and not necessarily about, you know, life things or life experiences, but when you want to share, you know, these are my interests. I'm interested in aviation or anything like that. Sometimes it's easier for students to open up to someone other than mom and dad, and mom and dad should, you know, lean on that person. I like to call counselors or my team of staff academic advisors like the aunties. You know, sometimes you have conversations with your aunties and your uncles that you necessarily don't have with your parents.
That's definitely good. So parents, I hope you're taking notes. Students, I hope you're taking notes, because it really is, you know, when Lynnecia said, "Hey, this is my tip," I was like, that is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good one, and it's one that we don't talk about. And career counselors think or career counselors and guidance counselors, there's a taboo that they don't connect because they kind of do the same job. I do not do guidance counselor work. I do not know what your course load is. I do not know what the school requires.
Mm-hmm.
That is the job of your guidance counselor. I look at myself as assisting a student who, and I will tell them, go meet with your guidance counselor.
Right. And
It's
that's the
important.
reality. You work as a team.
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So I do want to highlight a few points about why, beginning or starting that relationship with your guidance counselor is so important, especially when we're talking about, the college application process and ultimately your trajectory through college and earning your degree. The first point I want to make is why the relationship between you and your guidance counselor is an important relationship. High school counselors and middle school counselors, they provide critical resources to students and parents as they prepare for college. So, Lisa Marie, you pointed on that. As a career coach, you may not have those specific details as this school, they're not accepting students with a GPA of this, or those type nuances. Your guidance counselor will be able to say or help direct you um, to some resources to help you get into the school of your choice. Also, school counselors are usually highly trained professionals who typically have advanced degrees. So they'll be able to share their own college experiences with you, their own application experiences with you. Your high school guidance counselors also can serve as that liaison or networking piece to help you obtain letters of recommendation from your teachers.
That's very
Or
important.
very important.
That's a key. That is definitely key because guidance in the Common App,
Mm-hmm.
they ask either your guidance counselor or your teacher send in that letter of recommendation. So
Right.
super important.
Absolutely. So yeah, even if they can't, network and help you find a teacher or connect you with a teacher to write a letter of recommendation, oftentimes because you've been working with them one on one and you've built that relationship, they'll be the perfect reference to, provide to a college. Um, but of course, we're talking about the application process, right? So even as parents, one of the first things we must do is have that talk with our kids. And like I mentioned, something, and the talk is, understanding your interests and your abilities and your limitations. So for parents, it's a perfect time to just listen. And sometimes as parents, we want to have the answers because we want to fix it, but we don't. So you be confident and comfortable in referring your child to their high school counselor because that's what they're there for. They're the key resource when it's time to have the talk and be able to open up to someone other than their parents.
I like that
Mm-hmm.
because there are some kids who don't, and they really don't. And also, there are some parents out there who have not gone to college who may feel intimidated about having that family conversation. One of the things that Campus Bound GPS does encourage is having that family talk. But I do understand that there are times, especially if the parent, have does not have a college education and did not go that route, you feel like you cannot connect, but you can connect. That's your
Right.
child. And in ways, your support system, so you support them in that journey. And if you don't have the answers, seek answers. And that's one of the reasons why, I being a single mom, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have answers. I didn't have guidance. I didn't have direction. I didn't know what to do. And I think that's one of the reasons why I did get close to my kids' guidance counselors because I was in that school. They
Right.
knew me.
Yeah, so they don't even, they not only serve as tools and resources for the students. There can be that bridge with the parents who, like you said, as a single mom or single parent, um, and a lot of those that may not have had the college experience, that your counselor provides that bridge so that you and your kids can have those conversations and be on the same page with their goals and aspirations.
Exactly. So I do want to make note that Latika Vine says hello, and she said great
Hi.
advice. So hello.
Hi, Miss Vines. Thanks for joining us. So, my next point I do want to touch on, because even though we are focusing on guidance counselors for middle school and high school students, I wanted to make the early correlation between your guidance counselor and your first year academic advisor, because there's not much difference. College Entering college is a time for major, transitions for most students. Middle school to high school, and then high school to college, those are major transition times. And you're leaving the rigid organization of high school and going off to a more relaxed environment in most cases in college. And students are sometimes in good need of some great advice, and some advice from someone other than their parents, just to be honest. You want to have that tool or that secret weapon that is going to advise your kids, and kids, that students, that this person is going to advise you to be successful. Much like your middle school and high school guidance counselors or career counselors, you'll be assigned an academic advisor through your time at college, and they're going to be just as important um, in your first year to get you acclimated to college and understand your degree requirements, understand what it's like to most times live on campus or just be a college student. So use the relationship that you're building in middle school and high school and carry that over to the same relationship that you'll have with your college academic advisors.
Excellent advice.
Mm-hmm,
Excellent
mm-hmm.
advice. Because that advisor, my advisor in college, actually helped push me through. I mean, there was a time when I didn't know, and I had different journeys that I could take being a communications major,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding what my options were, really talking about internships, practicums, co-ops, that kind of thing. So yes, your double secret weapon. And the interesting thing is, I loved when you said building relationships. And
Absolutely.
it is important to start that practice
Mm-hmm.
of building the relationship with your high school counselor, so that you know how to navigate the conversation, you get an idea of the conversation, and you carry that into college. And I love what you also said. They are there to help you be successful.
Yes, yes.
Don't dodge the advisor.
Never dodged the advice. Like, I was in my advisor's office all the time. Like, what we having for lunch today? Because I need to talk about something else. And I like that you pointed out that when you started or your first year, you had so many different avenues that you could take under communications. And the reality is, research says that 75% of students enter college without having made a real decision about what their future career or majors are. And 50% of those will change their majors during their first or second year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another time where your academic advisor or your counselor becomes your guide and your support system in being able to navigate those decisions. They're there to help you open those doors and opportunities that you may not have otherwise known that was available. You can go through your first semester of college and say, I am going to be this, and after two classes, I have to change. I want to do something different. And that's where you go and you express those interests to your academic advisor. Even in high school, start expressing those interests to your guidance counselors. and they can refer you to schools and programs and degrees that will help you build upon those skills and those passions
Exactly.
that you have.
Exactly. Because you want to be your best self. And I would
Absolutely.
say, considering that you said one thing you said, um, with the students changing their majors, your academic advisor, and this is within your first year of college, your academic advisor, they will let you know, well, if you go down this road, this is what you may require additional in order to
Mhm.
graduate by this time.
Right.
So they're also looking at your balance with classes, what you're able to take, what you want to take, so forth and so on. So it's good information. That's why I said I really love this topic. It's one that's really not pushed, I think, enough.
Hmm.
And I see too many. So for our freshmen, sophomores, juniors out there, take advantage of your guidance counselor at this point because you're building the habit of learning about your preparing yourself for graduation. And
Hmm.
when you transition into college, so I'm listening to what you're saying, I'm just phrasing it a different way. When you transition into college, you're meeting with your academic advisor and basically doing the same thing. So you've learned it in high school, you will use it again in college, and the ultimate goal is being successful.
Right. Absolutely. And that actually, brings up one of the myths I want to kind of debunk about, seeing your advisors, and or why do I need an academic advisor or counselor? And I hear so many incoming students, incoming college students that say, I don't, why do I need to meet with my academic advisor? Or, I've read all the requirements. I understand all the requirements. And the key thing is your guidance counselor and your advisors are there for multiple reasons, not just to enforce requirements and enforce policies. When you aren't sure, like you mentioned, what you need to graduate, or when switching majors, you probably need to go and talk to your advisor. If you have a passion for something like a specific trade, go and talk to your advisor. They have the resources and the arms and networks to be able to put you in position to speak with someone, maybe an instructor for a class you're not too sure about, maybe an alumni that had taken the path that you're interested in. Your advisor is going to be integral in introducing you to these people. One of the biggest reasons why I push all of my incoming students to have at least one meeting. And give me one, and I know you'll come back. At least one meeting with your academic advisor, is because even if you're pretty sure you've gotten everything figured out on your own, it's going to be helpful to talk to someone, because there is nothing nothing worse than getting down to thinking you're graduating and you have just a few more credits left, or a few
Exactly.
credits that you missed, or classes you missed because those requirements shifted on you, or you really didn't understand what was needed. So they serve multiple reasons. So never think that um, you have it all figured out, if you read all the requirements. One conversation can mean a big difference in either getting to college and getting through college.
I like it. I love it. I love it. I do want to say Terry Johnson said, "Hi, ladies. Very informative, and preparation is the key."
Yes. Hi, Terry. Thank you.
Yes. So,
I like
anything?
that preparation is the key, because I
Yeah,
actually had a quote, um, and it's my quote, I'll say. No, a quote, when thinking about this conversation that we were gearing up to have. And I said, your schedule today prepares for tomorrow's success. So definitely preparation is
is
key.
key. And I do want to say this. So, Campus Bound GPS is founded, or the formula for Campus Bound GPS is MAP, and MAP stands for Mindset, Awareness, and Preparation. And being that we're towards the end of October tips, we've got a couple of days left. This is kind of a good preparation conversation where, we are focused on, if you do the things that you need to do when you need to do it,
Mhm.
you put yourself in a position to be successful. And that's what we're here for. We're here for you parents, you students who are going through this college application process, especially at this time. October is a very integral month for the college application process. And that's why I bring in my superpowers. Lynnecia, today you're part of my superpower. And with that said, do you have anything else to add?
I have one more thing to add. Now, I would not be known as the confidence doula if I didn't add one tip about confidence. And it does relate to meeting with your guidance counselors. So, meeting with them, starting that practice will help you gain clear guidance that will reduce the stress, will put you in that mindset that you talked about when it comes to college applications. And this boost of confidence will definitely reflect in your application itself, because you'll go into completing that application already knowing and already having that research from someone like your counselor, and translating that into an organized, a polished presentation of a great candidate that you would want that college to accept.
That's why you're on today. That was an excellent wrap up for today's conversation. Lynnecia, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for being here tonight. Thank you for presenting your tip on guidance counselor being, a student's secret weapon, a family's secret weapon.
Family, I like
As,
that.
yeah, as a family secret weapon to being successful in graduating and moving to your next journey in college or wherever you decide to go.
Mhm.
So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, wow, we have wrapped up day 29. Whew, this has been a journey. Still got a couple more days left, but I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you who want to review past programs, please, please, please go on to YouTube, Campus Bound GPS. All the tips from this year are there. You're welcome, Terry. Please subscribe. So when I put the past, I'm new to this YouTube thing and I'm excited about it, but I will be putting on our past, years past, I should say, October tips as well. So you will get the wealth and breadth of information that's out there for you all. Like I said, every October, by God's grace, I'll be doing this because this is my community service to you parents and you students out there who are going through it right now. And just want to let you know that there is somebody with you. You
Mhm.
are not alone in this journey. Latika said, very great tips today from Lynnecia. Thank you,
Mhm.
ladies. You are quite welcome.
Thank
You're quite
you.
welcome. So, on that note, I want to tell everybody on behalf of Campus Bound GPS, thank you for watching. Good night. And please, please, please be safe.